Hey you guys, hey you guys, hey you guys. I said I was gonna start my YouTube channel and I don't wanna keep procrastinating and don't start and you think I'm not gonna start. You guys look. I started I designed a couple shirts today to go into my store. Black is beautiful and I'll be doing a couple other shirts that if anybody wanna purchase them, they'll be available to purchase. But I said I was gonna start my YouTube channel to really start giving you guys some content that I was kind of giving away for the free on Facebook. So I might as well just go ahead and start my page. So a day in the life of T, a day in the life of what I do, what it takes, how it works. So it's gonna be basically this page is gonna be. I'm gonna tell you, I ain't gonna lie. You might see some church. You're gonna see some churching. You're gonna see some business. You're gonna see some inspirational. You'll see some decor here and there. I'm probably gonna hold off on the decor until I move out of my studio apartment into my house because I'm done all the decorating I'm gonna do here. So and my office and my business don't took over. So I'll show you guys the decor when I move into my house and it'll be quick and simple. So I promise you, I will take you along for the ride. But my reason for getting on and my reason for really wanting to connect with people is because I always feel that even if I can help one person out of the millions and billions and trillions of people in the world, it makes a difference to me. It does not have to be one particular person, but if I can make a difference in that one person's life. So let me explain to you guys how I made over $3,000 in 4 days during the pandemic. That's what I never talked about on Facebook. I never went in detail, never said it, but that's kind of roundabout where my numbers were, if not a little bit higher. So I'm gonna give y'all the bottom line number. It got so crazy where my bank called me at like 2 in the morning and was confirming that all the payments were coming in. Was like, what's going on? But you guys, when I tell you, when God gives you a promise and a gift and a plan, stick with it, stick to it. Don't get all caught up in what's going on with everybody else. Pay attention to what God has you connected to in your gift. One thing about life that you're gonna learn is so much going on. It's so much going on. There's so many people doing things. It's people doing everything. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Kudos to everybody and anybody that have things going on. But I will say this, and one thing I'm learning, and I learned about business and what really happened to me, even in the midst of me getting where I am, it it almost started. I'm not gonna say accidentally, but unexpected. Can I say that? Unexpected. I started this venture because, as many know, I'm a substitute in my county. I also drive Lyft. And I had been sewing for some years here and there, but I was really sewing for my liking, for my enjoyment. I wasn't really sewing to really just, shake nothing. I knew that there would come a time that I really wanted to be stuck at my sewing machine, but I didn't know God was going to turn my world upside down that quick. But the crazy part about it, when the pandemic happened, I told God that if I'm going to be stuck in my house for weeks and weeks at a time, God, you have to do something. You have to make it so that this can be worth my stay. Like, I don't like an idle mind. I don't like to be still. I don't like to be, no work, not doing anything. I like to be busy. I like to have things to do. I like to accomplish things. When I'm working and when I'm doing stuff, I feel like I'm accomplishing something. I feel like something is getting done. There's a vision that I've set before myself that I'm getting ready to meet. So let me tell y'all, it's crazy because I came home that night when things were kind of getting crunk up, but they wasn't all the way crunk up. So I had told my daughter, I was like, Lord, I'm going to ride it out. Like, I'm going to do Lyft. I'm going to be very, very careful. I'm going to have my disinfectant spray. I'm going to have my wipes. I got my mask. I'm going to, make sure my clients are straight. So even in the beginning of it, I was cleaning my car out more than normal. I was disinfecting my car. I was making sure my clients, if they needed a wipe, they had a wipe. So I had all the toiletries. I had all the toiletries, all the tools to do what I needed to do. I get home one afternoon, and this is when the numbers were starting to go up. And when the numbers were starting to go up, I get home one day, and inside of my purse was laying a mask, like a face, the emergency room mask. And I told my daughter, I was like, where did this come from? Like, I don't wear these kind. I've never put the thing on from the emergency room on my face. I don't wear this mask. I have, when I was out driving, the one that I was wearing in the car was one that I made. So I was like, why is this sitting on top of my purse and all my passengers sit in the back? So why would this be sitting on top of my purse? Long story short, I didn't know why it was sitting on my purse. It wasn't nasty. It didn't look used. It just was like a brand new face mask. It was just laying on top of my purse. So I said to myself, you know what? I looked over at my sewing machine. I looked at my daughter, and then I thought about what would happen if I kept on playing kind of Russian roulette. Like, Tarnisha, you're not sick, but there could be a situation that you could get ill, even being as careful as you are. You don't want to get ill. You don't want your daughter to get ill. You don't want to make nobody ill. You don't even want nobody around you ill. Even if you don't get sick, I really didn't even want to keep on like dealing with it like that, because honestly, most of the passengers that we were picking up after the pandemic was kind of starting to get bad was people slick straight from the hospital. So it was either the workers needed to get to work or it was patients leaving the hospital. So I was like, oh Lord, like you got to do something. You got to make a way. And this is crazy, y'all. Now I sit up a many nights, watch a whole lot of stuff, do a whole lot of stuff, but I never planned for God to really flip things the way that he flipped them. So I got home and I told my daughter, I said, well, I'm going to sew some masks. And a friend of mine needed some masks, and he was like, well, I need X, Y, and Z. So I sold him some, and then I got another order, then I got another order. This was all within an hour. So within an hour of me saying that I would do it, I had literally got over 65 orders in like 1 hour. So instantly I was like, oh my God, like what have I done? So I began to tell God, like, Lord, you're going to have to guide me. You're going to have to guide me. You're going to have to help me, because I have not been stuck at no sewing machine in years, and I don't know how this is going to work, like dealing with all these different people. So, you know, after talking to a friend of mine, and, you know, he was like, just roll with it. Like, you know, you're the right person for the job. You have the gift. There's no sense of you, you know, not using your gift. You might as well use it. You really don't need to be out there driving. So my friends are, let me tell you, my friends are always, I ain't gonna lie, they always encourage me to do the opposite of what I want to do. Because if it's left up to me, I'm gonna hustle, bustle, grind, get it how I live. Not worried. I don't trip. I don't stress about nothing. So I began to try to put things together, and I knew that it was going to be rough in the beginning, and it was. Orders was coming in, things were coming in, and you guys, I'm not going to make this long, but I just want to tell you how good God is if you work the vision, if you just stay in alignment with what God tells you to do. So I knew I had material on hand, because like I said, I've been sewing for years. I still got tons of sewing stuff inside of my storage unit. I had some at my house. So I began to sew. Orders began to just pour in. It got so bad that literally within 2 to 3 days, I had over 600 orders of masks. It was just, orders was everywhere. Sticky notes was everywhere. I didn't know what to do. People were contacting me from Georgia, Texas, Florida, Minneapolis, Michigan. There is not one part of the world, Florida, I mean everywhere, Atlanta, there was no part of the world that I didn't have some communication with. The only thing I hate now that, you know, business it's calm, but it's still very consistent. The only thing that I regret after I got started is that I wish I would have had more time to really talk to every customer and deal with them one-on-one and get to know some of the people, because I was so appreciative of all the support. Let me tell y'all, in the beginning it was rough. Like, I was rushing trying to do people orders. Some orders, you know, I messed up on like 1 or 2 orders or whatever. But in customer service and whatever you do, when you begin to do a business, I don't care what business you do, there are gonna be some mistakes. The mistakes is not the problem. The issue is when you're not trying to correct the mistake and rectify what you've wronged and do it in a decent and a professional way. So, of course, in the beginning there was mistakes. Like I said, I had never been this overwhelmed. I had never had these many customers in my entire life. But the more I got into it. And every day that I would get up, I would tell God, you got to take this little bit of a vision and you're going to have to perfect this craft in me. I got to do better. I got to be better. And I got to get this negative stuff, because the negativity was starting to weigh on me. I was starting to get a little bit overwhelmed. I was starting to get stressed. One weekend, I worked so long and so hard. I popped a blood vessel in my eye because I had just worked, just nonstop, just working. Don't do that. One thing I learned, you do not have to chase the vision or the gift. God will bring you what you need, how you need, all of that will be laid out. And you do what you're able to do. If you cannot do it, don't stress out. Don't be tripping. Allow God to be God and make things smooth for you. And every morning now, like with my business, I get up with a plan in mind. I get up with a plan and I pray with the purpose that, okay, I start my morning off with my meditation, my vitamins, my prayer. I get my cup of coffee and I sit down and I look at my board and whatever's before me. This is what we're going to tackle. This is what we're going to mail off. This is what we're going to take care of. One thing you will learn in order to make it in any business, consistency, communication is going to take you so far. A lot of people be wondering, like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Why isn't this working out for me? It's not working out for you because you're not trusting God to perfect what you're doing. And also, you're so worried about them that you're losing focus of yourself. If you ride in your own lane, you stay focused. And no matter what nobody say, no matter what nobody do, stay the course. And I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this to bless people. There's going to be so many times I jump on and I just want to bless you. I'm not perfect. Every day I strive for greatness. Every single solitary day. You have to learn to kind of live out of the box of where you at. You have to learn that, you know what, everybody is not going to understand what you're doing, how you're doing, why you're doing it. But it wasn't meant for them to understand it. If this is something that you're going to walk in and this is going to be a part of your life for real, you have to subtract the good from the bad. You're going to have your good days. You're going to have your bad days. Some days I don't feel well. Some days I really don't feel well. I still work. I still get it done. And I push on through. I do what I have to do. And I give myself a limit. And then I lay down and I take a rest. You got to know when to trust God. But in trusting God, you got to know when. That you have to plug your ears up. You have to cut the noise off and stay focused. Because if you don't stay focused, you're going to lose track of what you're doing. You're going to get so caught up in what they're saying, so caught up in what they're doing, you're going to lose track, and you're going to lose customers, and you're going to lose your vision. Because now you're going to start perfecting their vision. Because you've lost track of what God told you to do. So what I would do in the beginning, there was sometimes, and this is no lie, every single solitary week I was having to delete people and add new people because there were so many other people that was trying to get in contact with me. So there was some dead weight that I had to get rid of to add people. You know, it was nothing they did. It was no shade. It was just that when you're doing things, there's a certain type of caliber people that you want on your bandwagon. You want those people that's going in the same lane that you, that's really prospering, trying to go somewhere, trying to have something. You want those people that either they're working with you or they're a potential customer. You really don't need a whole lot of people that's just sitting around and looking, or a lot of people just trying to figure out what she's doing and how she's doing it. You don't even need those type of people. You really need people that's going to push you through, that's going to encourage you, that's going to be that. Some mornings I wake up, you look for inspiration. You look for not only inspiration, you look for encouragement. There was one of my customers, Miss Smith. She know who she is. One of my customers, I honestly would wake up every morning and I would look for her post, and that was the only thing that would tell me, Tarnisha, roll on up out of the bed and get to doing what you need to do. You got orders to fill. You got things to do. One thing I've learned about my business and I've learned about myself doing this is consistency and loyalty to what you're doing is going to be the only way that you're going to come out on top. I've learned that I have to be true to me. It's not but one you. Can't be duplicated. Can't nobody else copycat who you are. Don't worry about what they say. Don't worry about what they think. Only you and God really knows what's going on when God begins to flip tables over and changes things. And I've always told God to bless me in a way that even me myself would be amazed. I knew that it had to be nobody but God. But even in that, one thing I've learned about business and life, when you want God to do something extraordinary and out of the norm, you got to do something out of the norm. I had to sacrifice. I had to do investing into this business. It was days that I was like, okay, I have this, but what else I need to do to perfect what I'm doing. So every week I wanted to do something better, and I wanted to perfect what I did the week before or the day before, because you don't want to be consistent and not growing. You want to be growing in whatever you're doing, because that's when you want God to really, but God will bless you. If you trust God, He'll take your little bit and make it a whole lot more. You got to trust the gift. You know, most people that start out with something, even hairdressers, they may start out only being able to gel a ponytail really, really good. But then before you know it, they're doing a cut, they're doing a color, they're doing a style. So everything that you do, you have to be in it to perfect it. Don't just get up, be consistent with what you're doing. The same thing you're doing every day is not going to make you any money. The same thing you're doing every week, if it's not working, it's not working. I always tell myself every day, only a person that's kind of not all the way there will do the same thing consistently and expect different results. You're not going to get the numbers, you're not going to get the customers, you're not going to get the vision, you're not going to get the platform you want if you stay consistent to just being okay with being okay. You have to be that one who don't mind doing something different. And it's okay to be different. It's okay if you don't have a lot of friends. It's okay if you lose some along the way. Because one thing you learn about business, if you lose anybody while you're growing, they were never meant to stay. They were never meant to stay. I don't really sit down and explain to people why I do what I do and who I am anymore. You let people believe whatever they want to believe. And you just stay focused on your purpose, on your plan, on your vision. Nobody can shake your world. Nobody can give you what God can give you. If you're true to your promise and you really want your brand, what you're doing to expand, you got to stay focused. Stay consistent. Stay better and better every week. Don't get lazy. Don't get comfortable and think that you're the baddest thing on the platform, because, baby, every second there's a new entrepreneur bruising. There's a new entrepreneur trying to learn. There's a new person, they want it. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's no shade in that, because there is enough people in the world that if everybody was successful, there's still enough room for everybody else to be successful. I really just wanted to come on and bless you guys. I told you guys I would start my YouTube page, and I did it tonight. Well, it's been started, but I'm now going back into it, and I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to try to do at least 3 videos a week and come on and do a video and talk to you guys. Just be blessed. Be consistent. Trust God during the process. And if nothing else, nobody's going to market you like you market you. Nobody is going to have faith in your vision and your business like you. You and God, that's where the relationship at. It's not between all these people. Some of them people going to buy from you. You may never ever see them again. Some of them people may tell you, girl, I love what you do, and they may never purchase the item. And that's okay. Keep working the vision. I hope you guys be blessed. I've enjoyed it, this little time with you guys. If you have any questions or comments, you can inbox me. Please do not post anything negative below my videos ever. Now, later, whenever. I will block and delete, because I really do live in a no negative zone. Like, I don't do negativity on no level about nobody, about myself, about nobody's business, none of that. No shade throwing. You can ask me questions. You can talk to me. You can get to know me. You can ask me questions, things you may want to know, and I'm more than happy to help you. Just don't bring the negativity. I don't do negativity on neither one of my platforms. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I don't do it. I love you guys to life. I thank you for joining me, and until the next recording, be blessed.